Hey y'all, I'm Elisa and I am the Scrappy Wife behind scrappywife.com, and today I have a Bible journaling process video for you. I'm working in the illustrated faith devotional From Where I Stand, which takes us through Easter and through the resurrection of Christ from Mary Magdalene's point of view. And today I am in John 19:38 through 42, and just imagining the time between the crucifixion and the resurrection and the feelings that Mary Magdalene must have had and felt, and just kind of putting herself in her point of view. So I will be working in my illustrating Bible today. I will link all the supplies down below just like normal, and otherwise I will see you at the end. Let's go. So the primary artistic thing that I had to overcome for this page was a lot of bleed through from what was on the other side. And I'm going to use a large piece of scrapbook paper. This is actually from the Maggie Holmes Flourish collection, which is a beautiful collection and one that anyone would love to have in their craft space. So I'm cutting this piece of paper to 9 1/4 by 3.75, and it will cover completely the margin that is in my Bible right there. So that will take care of all of that bleed through that is coming through. And I want it to be an interactive element. I love these pictures that Elaine Davis put up on the Print and Pray shop, and it's of all of the creative team members' feet in different places, which I think is wonderful, because the whole concept of this devotional is imagining where Mary Magdalene was, like imagining what it was like to be in her shoes. And it also kind of goes along with being where your feet are right now, which I know we are all at home. Most of us, some of us are, fighting on the front lines. There's healthcare workers. All of our feet are in very unique places, and we have unique feelings associated with that. So you can see what I did here was I adhered those pictures down, and then using my scissors and a flat edge right here, a straight edge, I am cutting into and making these work like little doors. So I'm cutting it out right here, and then I will lift up that flap and bend it over, and it just makes it look like a little door. And this is going to be the interactive element where I will be able to hide some different journaling and art elements, but it will also still cover up all of that bleed through that I had on my page. And the 3 pictures I chose were pictures that said stand at the cross, very appropriate. One that said home, which is especially appropriate right now because that's where our feet are standing. And then stand through it all, which is what we are all kind of dealing with in the moment, just standing through this storm. I'm actually backing this large element with black cardstock. The title of this particular devotional day was Stand in the Darkness, so black seemed very appropriate. And I'm also going to fussy cut some of these floral elements. The kit came with these gorgeous die cut elements, but they are very, very large. And so I wanted to break one of them down, and you can see I'm going to kind of use them to create a peekaboo effect. They're going to be behind my little doors. I'll situate them in there. And then that way when you open the door, you will see some of those florals, and they kind of tie in with the florals that are on the scrapbook paper in the front, which I really like. So I've trimmed down those elements, and then I'm gonna just adhere part of them to the edges, adding a little bit of adhesive right here, and then I'll add that one on. That way I know the exact position that it is in the little doorway area. So I'll adhere this one on, and you can see that's how it will work. I'm just double checking to make sure I have them in the right place. This is one of those projects where I keep flipping it back and forth, upside down, all which ways, and I just want to make sure the positioning is correct once it's all adhered on. Now I am adding adhesive along my black cardstock, and then I will place this piece on the top and have it all come together as one piece. There it is. Now the next step I have to do is trim off the excess on the sides, and then I'll come back with some liquid glue because I only adhered the sides of those flowers, and now that the black cardstock is in place, I can add a little liquid glue underneath so that the flowers stay in place and they're extra secure beneath my little peekaboo doors. And you're gonna see me, I absolutely love this element. I love the interactive, and I keep playing with the doors over and over again. I'm grabbing some word stickers. This is actually from last month's devotional from Illustrated Faith. I'm adding the phrase through any storm of life. And really, this is supposed to be focusing on the time in between, the time after the crucifixion and before the resurrection. And I just imagine the darkness that it felt. You had the hope of Jesus coming back, like you knew what he had told you, but sometimes I think we can even admit when you are in the midst of a trial, in the darkness, it can be hard. That hope can feel far away. And I kind of imagine that's what Mary Magdalene felt like. She was holding on to it, but it probably felt like it was slipping through her hands. The journaling I'm adding is from a song that Shauna suggested we listen to in the devotional, and it's actually called, let me grab it again, Death Was Arrested. And the lyrics I added in were, alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin, lost without hope with no place to begin. Your love made a way to let mercy come in when death was arrested and my life began. Now, all I have to do is adhere this large element to my page, and really you could call it done right here, but I wanted to add a little bit more just to make it feel a little bit more incorporated into the page. So I grabbed the washi tape from the kit and I'm going to line it on this edge, making sure not to cover up any words. I like that it brings in some of that peachy color, and plus I just love the washi tape from the kit this month. It also has those florals that are in the peekaboo windows, so those are nice, a nice tie-in. And then I'm using the word Fetty from this month to add a few more pertinent words. So at the top, I'm gonna write overcome death, which goes, I think, well with stand at the cross. And then down below on the bottom one, I'm gonna write fear and sorrow, which stand through it all, stand through the fear, stand through the sorrow. You're going to come out the other side, which are words of encouragement I think that are really important in these days and times that we are living in. So my element over here is done. And next I'm going to kind of bracket off the verses that I was focusing on for this particular journaling passage. And I want to do some stamping. And this is a cross stamp from the Vision 2020 kit. And I'm using my dried marigold distress oxide and just adding a few art mark stamps. And the reason I did the dried marigold is it's kind of an orangey peachy color, which comes in some of those pictures and also of course in the washi tape. But I'm going to come back over it with black because the dried marigold is going to end up looking kind of like a shadow, so it's just a hint of that color. And I like the black element because there's so much black in that scrapbook paper. Bringing it across the page works really nicely. And then I'll add a few crosses over here on the scrapbook paper just to bring that motif throughout the journaling entry. I am wanting to add paint splatters, but not black because I already have so much black. So I actually chose Victorian Velvet, which matches really nicely with the alpha in the kit this month, that word Fetty. You can't see it very well here on camera, but all I did was squish some of it out onto a piece of plastic and then add a little water with a water brush, and then I'm just tapping it across. It's real gentle, real light, but just adds a little spray of color across the page, incorporating all of those elements a little bit more. And that is my page for today, a simple, fun, yet interactive page in your journal. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I also have a link below to join my email newsletter that I send out every couple of weeks talking about organization tips and crafty hacks and just some thoughts from me. I hope you have a wonderful day, that you're staying safe and finding time to be crafty. As always, keep it creative.